Hey there, Andrea Olson here again. This is the Good Diaper Free podcast I'm recording today, episode 88. At what age can I potty train my child? If you're wondering why there's a podcast on YouTube, it's because my people hang out everywhere and I want to find you where you're at. So if you want to follow the actual podcast, just go over to iTunes or Spotify and look up Go Diaper Free. You'll find us there. Okay, so without further ado, this is At What Age Can I Potty Train My Child? This is also a full-on blog post over at goodiaperfree.com/88. There are tons of pictures and infographics and lots of information that will help you wrap your mind around what method to use, EC or potty train. Let's record this. Welcome to the Go Diaper Free podcast, where we're all about helping you stop depending on diapers as early as birth. I'm your host, Andrea Olson, author and mom of 5 babies, all EC'd from birth, all out of diapers by walking. I've also helped hundreds of thousands of other parents start EC with their babies around the world. This is episode 88. At what age can I potty train my child, and should I do EC or potty training? You can read the full written blog version of today's show over at goodiaperfree.com/88, where I have lots of infographics, lots of neat little quote cards and things that you can share, all the things I mentioned in today's episode, lots and lots of links. I'm not going to name any in this show today. Just go over there if you want to click through to something. And I'll also be replying to comments over there. So come on by when you're finished. All right, so here we go. New parents in the Western world are constantly wondering, when can I begin potty training? Some don't even realize that without the right information, they can even begin potty training their baby. So in this episode, I will share what ages are best to begin potty training your child and which options to use. We'll look at options for the first year of life. Yes, you heard me right, the first year, the 12 to 18 month range, and 18 months and beyond. Which potty training age is truly the most beneficial to your child's health? There is a lot of crap out there on the internet about potty training, pun absolutely intended. It can boggle the mind. There are a lot of marketing-fueled lies circulating with the primary aim of selling more disposable diapers that will never biodegrade. So, because the current society is so convinced of certain truths, we need to push those aside right now. Before we dive into which potty training method works best for each age range, which is super detailed in a moment, let's first get something crystal clear. Early potty training will not damage your child in any way. There is no scientific study that actually proves that early potty training will harm your child before 2 and 3 years old, contrary to Dr. Hodge's marketing influence, which is based on a study that doesn't say early potty training will damage them, but that incomplete emptying of the bladder will. Read more about that misinformation over at the link on the show notes. Late potty training starting at 2 years old and up can potentially damage your child in many ways. Read the article that I linked to over in the show notes that compares and cites all the science that proves this inarguably. The point is, if your child is already over 18 months, get educated and begin potty training this week. If your child is less than 18 months old, it can only benefit your child to begin today in some way, big or small, with EC or a potty training EC blend. The science supports it, you guys. Again, I will break down the ages further in a moment, so keep on listening. And what's the most healthy time to begin? Early as birth, as early as wherever you are when you listen to this podcast. Establishing healthy potty use and attitudes from an early age is beneficial to your child on so many levels. Parents, you get to choose from birth whether to train your baby into using the diaper as a full-time toilet, which is a relatively new thing, like less than a decade, or using the toilet as a full-time toilet. So there's more about that choice and a link over in the show notes. I want to give you full permission to choose what works for you, and a little bit of learning might be necessary so you can feel confident executing this decision, of course. And that's what goodiaperfree.com is all about, by the way, so just check it out if this piques your interest. Okay, now that this myth is completely disproven, we can confidently move in to answer the question, at what age can I potty train my child, and with what method? How to decide which age to begin potty training your child. So there are 3 different age ranges where you can comfortably begin. It just so happens that the ranges begin right at birth, so the decision really just comes down to, number 1, educating yourself about the options. Number 2, deciding what you and your family value as far as infant hygiene and healthy toileting habits go as part of the big picture of raising your baby. Number 3, considering your level of motivation to give your baby the best start possible on all levels: feeding, sleep, pottying, and engagement with people and nature. And by the way, you can do this part-time. You don't have to go and do this like 24/7. So motivation can be like, yeah, I could do this once a day. And number 4, considering your mental and physical well-being, level of support, and positive encouragement from others. So we want to take that into consideration, but again, super part-time, you can do that if you're a single parent as well. Let's take a look at these 4 aspects now. So number 1, educating yourself about your potty training options. I think that the biggest block people have about starting potty training is not knowing where to begin, which is education, this one right here. Below, I'm going to break up the different toileting start ages, define them for you, and then direct you to the top resources on each topic. From there, you can make the decision of what's right for you, okay? And if you're motivated to begin right away with one of the methods I'm about to name, you can leave this podcast, go over to the show notes, go diaperfree.com/88, click through one of these links, and never come back to this episode again. I won't be mad. After this, we'll cover number 2, family values about toileting and hygiene, and the rest of the stuff. So before we talk this out, here's a nice image that shows you quickly which method works for which age. You have to go to the show notes to look at this, you guys. Although over here, I'm also recording this for my YouTube. Let me show you guys this. I don't know if this is going to show up backwards or not. And here is a little graphic that I have on my Google Doc. It's over on the page as well. Okay, so check it out. Basically says potty train your child by age. For a baby 0 to 12 months, we definitely want to use Elimination Communication or EC. For a walking baby of 11 to 16 months, we want to use an EC potty training hybrid or early potty training. With a young toddler of 15 to 20 months, we want to use early potty training or regular potty training, non-coercive but fast. And then for a toddler who's over 20 months, we want to use potty training, non-coercive but fast. So you'll see that nice little infographic over there on the show notes. What is the top method for starting potty training at 0 to 12 months? Well, the method you would learn here is called Elimination Communication. Obviously, if you follow me, you know what that is, EC. It's a way of tending to your child's natural instincts for cleanliness by learning and responding to their signals and their rhythms and the preferences. It is not hard to do. You can do it part-time. It's faster than a diaper change. And the earlier you start, the sooner that you integrate this into your life and it becomes your normal. No potty training is usually necessary. You can learn more about EC on my EC 101 page. Go diaperfree.com/elimination-communication, or if you're lazy like me, just go to the show notes. You can also dive in with my popular book, Go Diaper Free, also linked on the show notes. Great. What is the best method, you guys, for starting potty training at 11 to 16 months? Walking, usually babies are walking during this age range. 11 to 16 month period is part of what's the sensitive period per the Montessori School of Thought, which is 12 to 18 months. This is the best time to begin toilet learning if you'd like to not do EC and just do toilet training. You can use either pure EC or a hybrid of EC and potty training during these ages. This is a time period where you can both begin and wrap up toilet learning all within one developmental stage. And you can learn more about why starting at 12 to 18 months is great with a post and a video that I link to in the show notes. Or grab my book because it has something called the hybrid plan in it. It's a bonus download that comes with my book. And you can learn about starting and using pure EC, which is what I've always done with my babies, no potty training, to practice and wrap up EC. You can also learn the hybrid plan, which is great for more advanced babies or parents who have to get that kiddo into daycare ASAP and don't really want to deal with diapers there, want to wrap it up before they do that. Now, what about the top method for training a 15 to 20-month-old toddler? If you're here, you've already mostly passed the EC window, although you can give it a whirl if you've got a super laid back, not walking yet baby. And now you're sitting at what's called early start potty training, but don't you dare feel bad. You will now spend less time potty training and doing EC and more time teaching the final pieces of independence, like ripping off a Band-Aid. Potty training at 18 to 24 months is a much more rapid process than EC. Doing this at 15 to 20 months is going to take a tiny little bit more than doing it at 18 to 24 months because your baby is just, the brain is kind of finishing up that long-term repetitive memory. So yeah, either way though, between 15 to 20 months, this is a lot more quick of a wrap-up than just starting and finishing with EC during this age range. I would just do an early potty training experience. You can learn more about potty training on my Potty Training 101 page, which is linked to on the show notes. Toddlers crave mastery at this stage, and being lax or hands-off about toilet training and letting them do it themselves or being like super gentle, in other words, like not teaching them anything is a disservice to your wonderful toddler. They deserve more. If you're ready to learn the best way to train today and be out of diapers within days or weeks, not months, then you can grab my potty training book, also linked to on the show notes as well. 15 to 20 months, great for you if you're within that range. If you are after 20 months, you would also do the same as the previous age range, but it's not going to be called early potty training. It's just going to be your regular old run-of-the-mill potty training. But don't use a boot camp or a gradual plan. And I don't want you to feel badly. The earlier you begin this, the sooner you'll be done. And you do not have to wait for readiness signals or fear that you'll harm your child by doing the training too early, because that's all BS funded by the diaper companies. Diaper companies have already talked about that. Don't worry about it. If you're after 20 months, check out my potty training 101 page, potty train with my book, and get this thing done, full permission granted. And I think you should do that. You should just do potty training. Do not do EC with a 20-month-old and up. Okay, now that we've covered that, number 1, educate yourself. Let's quickly cover 2 to 4 of the decision-making process for when you should start toilet learning, birth 20 months. So number 2 is to decide what you and your family value as far as infant hygiene and healthy toileting habits go as part of the big picture of raising your baby. Have a chat with your spouse, your partner, your BFF. Do diapers make sense? Is toileting, even part-time, going to be more in alignment with your baby raising goals, of health and happiness for your little baby? Do you understand the benefits of early toileting and how it can positively influence your baby for his or her entire lifetime? There are links on the show notes for this. Have you looked at the science supporting early toilet training? Consider what your family values are in this department, which you may never have discussed until today, and then make a commitment to do something about it, starting right this moment. Even just a little paradigm shift in your mind will be a big step. Integrating this decision with your family values is a really good way to make sure it doesn't slip through the cracks. I mean, do you let feeding your baby fall through the cracks? That's a funny pun, whoops. Do you let feeding your baby fall through the cracks? No, because you value it and you understand it. So we can apply the same lens here. And number 3, consider your level of motivation to give your baby the best start possible on all levels: feeding, sleeping, pottying, and engagement with people and nature. So are you completely sold that this is going to be in everyone's best interest? Do you want to save money? Are you motivated? Do you want to save time? Do you want to save messy cleanup effort? How about the environment? Would you like to save that so that your child has somewhere to live when they're older? You are motivated to feed your child, provide sleep, help them engage with people and nature. What is your level of motivation to help your child go to the bathroom in the proper receptacle? Just give it a good, honest look. If it's not that high on your motivation level or you're feeling lazy about it, just think about this. Changing diapers takes a lot longer than pottying your baby. You can also do this part-time, remember. And number 4, consider your mental and physical well-being, your level of support, and positive encouragement from others. Do you have postpartum depression? Yes, I'm asking. I've been through it multiple times. I can tell you that EC helped me get through the baby blues and helped me connect with my baby during those dark times. Are you recovering from a C-section birth, a cesarean birth? You can totally start observing, cueing along with your baby, even if you can't yet support his weight on your own. Could EC or early toilet learning make you feel better or more connected or more useful at this point? Yes, yes, and yes. Take an honest look at where you're at and then surround yourself with education and support. You can begin potty training at any age so long as you have these things in place. Obviously, EC is not necessarily potty training, but you can begin these potty habits at any age. And I just want you to know, if you don't know anybody or you don't feel like you can tell anybody about it, then don't. Be a closet ECer. That's totally fine. Both of my books come with access to private support groups full of positive encouragement run by my certified coaches. Will help you through any hiccups in the process in case nobody in your town gives a flip about early toilet training. So now that we've looked at how to decide when to begin potty training your child, let's next look over a few dangling facts and then an exact starting point. So there are some quick, reassuring facts I want to share now in case you want the skinny on the whole thing. This is a summary. Which is the best time to potty train your child? The answer is whatever age your child currently is. That's the best time to start learning. Now, what's the current average age of potty training completion in the U.S.? It's 36 to 38 months right now. And that's average. That's the middle, you guys. What's the current age of toileting independence in the rest of the world? 12 months average. What was the toilet training age in 1957 in the U.S.? 92% of children were toilet trained by 18 months of age in 1957 in the US. And I have a little graphic here you can share if you would like to on the blog post. Now, what would happen if we reduced toilet training age by 1 year from 3 to 2 years old? Well, the diaper companies would lose approximately $8 billion a year in revenues. Okay, we're on the same page now. Next up, where do you begin? So I covered the different start ages previously in this podcast, just earlier in this show today. For the details on free and paid resources you should begin with, you should definitely start with my free guides. I've got an EC Easy Start Guide and a 3-day potty training primer. You can get both of those over on the show notes, godiaperfree.com/88. What supplies will you need to begin potty training at any age? I want to share I'm a practical gal. I like sharing the tools I found to be the best for easy pottying. I have a supply list that you can get. The link is over there. Like I warned you, lots of links in this one. And there are a lot of diaper alternatives, backups, things like that, potties that you can find there. And if you don't have potties, small potties, newborn potties or little mini potties, or you don't have underwear or anything that fits your baby, go to tinyundies.com. Tinyundies.com is my other site. You can find stuff there. And just remember, I'm here for you, and so are our network of coaches. You can begin at any age, starting as early as birth, and Go Diaper Free is here to educate you, no matter where you are. And no shame to you, mama or daddy. You are where you are right now, given what you've learned so far. Now you know some more stuff about what age is best. So get educated and start today. When you know better, do better. That's what Maya Angelou said. So let's do that. We're rooting for you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments over on the show notes, please share when you are going to begin some sort of potty training in your house. It's a no judgment zone. Feel free to be transparent and honest, even if you're struggling with this. I also recommend some resources. I do have Getting AC Back on Track mini course if you've fallen off the wagon. Potty Time Mastery, when in the heck do I know my baby needs to go? And Go Diaper Free is my book that simplifies everything beginning to end. So head over and let me know. Go to episode 88, godiaperfree.com/88, and let me know what you're going to start today. I'll see you over there. Till next time, when we talk about expectations with EC, what can you expect at what ages? Happy pottying, you guys. I'm Andrea Olson, and you've been listening to the Go Diaper Free podcast at godiaperfree.com. I'll see you next time. Whew, that was a mouthful. Long episodes. The next one, I hope, will be a little bit shorter. I'll make sure of that. Please subscribe, hit the bell. Let me know if you want me to cover anything in the YouTube or podcast channels. And definitely follow my podcast. Go over to iTunes or Spotify as well and check it out. Or just keep listening to it here. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.